Why you should accept your insecurities. Now, this is going to be a very, very, very difficult video to bring out because I'm pretty much just telling everyone my weaknesses here. And if I can succumb to my weaknesses, if I can overcome, if I can accept, if I can demolish the negative thoughts that are attached or stringed to my insecurities, phew, just upwards, guys. Literally, there's nowhere else you're gonna go. Every day you think about or you worry about or you put yourself down because of your insecurities, things that you literally can't change about yourself. Every single day you think about that thing. Every minute you spend, every second you spend thinking like negatively, like worrying, like complaining about, like blaming other people about your insecurities. You're just holding yourself back. You're basically in prison in your own mind. Cause no one gives a heck. No one cares. Nobody cares. You might go outside for like 5 seconds and someone might point at you, oh look, he has a big nose. And then you go back inside and no one cares. Like there'll probably be a story that comes up like once, twice, if you're lucky. And then that's it. No one is worried about what you're insecure about. The only time people worry, or the only time people notice things that you're insecure about, are when you portray it, when you show off this anxiety, this depression, this lack thereof of confidence. When you portray negative emotions, when you mention speaking negatively about these things that you're insecure about, when your body language, literally your body language consists of the confidence of your insecurities. So therefore you have no confidence because you believe that you have insecurities that you can never change and no one is going to like you. If you keep having that type of mindset and you don't detach from that, you don't accept it, sadly, you are going to be in a cyclical narrative. And that just pretty much means you're just going to start off in one place, go through life, and then end up back in the same place. And I'm talking from very deep experience because I've been in my head a lot about a lot of things about myself. So I'm going to tell you things that I used to have as insecurities. I mean, at the end of the day, we still do have these insecurities, even after we've accepted them. It's just, it doesn't affect us. It's almost like stress. Like something bad can happen to me in a situation. Depending on how I respond to that situation, I can either be stressed about it, or be calm, be stoic, be present in that moment. Allow that thing that's happening, allow all those emotions, to just happen. And then as time goes by, I let those emotions fade away. And I have no attachment to the instance that just occurred. I'm calm, I'm collected. I'm able to distinguish from being calm and knowing that if I'm calm in this situation, things are going to be more plain and smooth sailing. I can actually think through the solution, as opposed to if I'm stressed out, if I'm like panicking, erratic, like, oh my God, or I start shouting and, start losing my control, losing temper, I'm not going to be able to think collectively. Therefore, I won't have a solution. I'll be wanting someone else to give me a solution rather than actually finding the solution. So, I mean, okay, I'm going to tell you things that I have been insecure about in the past. And I'm going to start off with probably the most like, the most, That makes no sense. I was doing so well. Like, I'm gonna tell you, starting from the top, like my things that I'm insecure about and how I've managed to overcome them so they don't affect me in my life. So the first thing is my scar under my eye. As you can see, I have like a very small cut. Some people say they don't like notice it. Some people notice it. Some people ask me about it. And this has like kind of been happening since I was young. I used to be asked a lot more when I was younger. But I think as you get older and, I look a bit intimidating. So people are like a bit more afraid, like, oh, what happened? Only really confident people ask me. But like, yeah, feel free like to ask me. I don't feel any resentment. I don't mind telling the story behind it and stuff like that. And if anything, it strengthens my acceptance in that insecurity. Therefore, I'm not like, I don't care. Like, I love it. It's part of me. I'm the only one person in this world that has a scar right underneath their right eye that looks exactly like this. So I'm distinguishable. I don't look like everyone else that doesn't have one. And yeah, I've heard all the jokes. Tony Montana, Scarface. Oh, ha, ha, ha. You're so funny. Heard all the jokes, guys. Yeah. Tribal man, tribal mark. Yeah. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, he's a Zulu warrior. He was fighting tigers when he was younger. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Ah, ha, 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 ha. That is so funny, guys. Thank you for being so humorous. You guys are so funny. You know what? You just speak for me instead. So at the end of the day, like making light out of your insecurities is very important. But yes, I have a scar underneath the right side of my eye, and I used to be, I want to say bullied, but it's not really bullying if you send back. So I used to like a lot of people used to like curse, flame, uh, speak about negatively about my scar. And in the beginning stages, it does definitely overwhelm you because it's like a lot of people are, especially like, if you have something you're insecure about and one person in a group setting mentions that thing, but like in a negative, like humorous way to like kind of belittle you. And then everyone else starts laughing. It hurts more, like, because everyone's laughing at you. So yeah, I've been in so many situations like that where like so many people have laughed at me for like, having a scar underneath my right eye. And I'll explain the story. So basically what happened when I was younger, I was about 3, 4 years old. I was playing and there was a glass table and I must have jumped on it and it broke and a shard of glass cut the bottom of my eye. And apparently, like I was blessed and it could have like went into my eye and made me blind in that eye, but I'm not blind, so I'm grateful for that reason. I used to tell people that I actually got this scar from fighting tigers, especially girls. Like I remember telling girls, yeah, I used to fight tigers when I was younger. So yeah, obviously you should see the tiger though, man. I feel sorry for the tiger. Yeah, man, that tiger was troublesome. I had to put him to sleep, man. Send him to God real quick. But anyway, anyways, so yeah, I used to, of course, get like, cussed, and I would always send back. It would always be like, the popular people in class or like the class clown. Like I was identified as a class clown as well, so I would always get in bouts with like other class clowns so they can gain some like reputation. It's all school stuff, like it's just immature, class clowning behavior, like we're all young, low testosterone and just being stupid, making fun of each other. And, it's kind of funny in the moment, you get the teacher angry, the class gets riled up, like you're actually having a fun time, like everyone's like cussing each other. It's kind of fun, like in a sense. And there's some like, humanity to it. It's like we don't care. Like back then we didn't really care. Okay, yeah, I have this scar, but I don't really care. And it's for the people, of course, that did care about their insecurities that I kind of felt more bad for, because it's like you can tell their mental, like I'm gonna give you a few examples. So like people that were like kind of like overweight, they when they were like cursed or cussed in like a classroom setting and a group of people started laughing at them, that would literally demoralize them. Like I'd not see that person for like a week. You could just imagine what they were going through at home, like just thinking about, oh my days, I'm so big, everyone was laughing at me. Just that image or that video just playing in their head of the classroom setting, everyone laughing at them. Like it can actually affect kids. Insecurities can, and that's why it's so important, especially like I'm assuming I'm speaking to a lot of young people. So like we want to be, or we want to encourage the young people in our lives. So it could be our kids, it could be our siblings, it could be, family members that are young, uh, you know friends, family members that are young, like whoever you're around that are young. It's always good to encourage them, um, in a way that can, boost their self-esteem, so they can, rather than blame or complain or have, some resentment about that insecurity, rather than doing that, inspire them and be like, you're the only one in the world that has this thing. Like, oh my days, I wish I was you. I wish I had that. Like, I wish I was that. Like, okay, like if another kid had a scar, and I actually do remember this in secondary school, or primary. I remember in primary school where there was another kid that had like a scar right underneath his eye as well. And I was like, yo, we got scars. We're the only kids. And like he felt so good. Like he was in like 3 years younger than me. But like he felt so good, and I felt good making him feel good. I don't know. In that era, I was ripped. Like I remember I used to tell people in primary school, yeah, just punch my belly. Yeah, just keep punching. Go harder. Yeah, just punch my belly. And like I was tense, and no one could hurt me. No one could hurt me in primary school. And I was also the fastest in my primary school, or one of the fastest in my primary schools. So like I was actually like really, I was sick. I was sick. I was actually a sick kid. Like I love my mum. Shout out to my mum. But so yeah, the first thing, obviously the scar underneath my eye, being clowned for it. But the way I managed to tackle or to accept it as an insecurity was basically to just accept that things happen in life, and you've just got to be grateful for life. And you might have a problem that you're facing in your own life, but if you compare, and I know it's not always good to compare your life to other people, but if you compare your life to, someone suffering in like a third world country, or like someone is deprived of food, some people in prisons, people in hospitals, like these people could be rich and like they're suffering in a hospital bed, like praying that the next day may come, praying that they may leave the hospital in a couple months rather than like being there stuck, like not being able to do nothing, just a vegetable. So I think just being grateful for what I do have, as opposed to what I don't have, or what other people have that I might want. Because I used to like be in a mindset of, especially when I was younger, I used to be in a mindset of, oh, I really wish I was like this person. And I tell myself this in my head, like I really wish I was like that person. Oh, I really wish this person treated me like this. I wish this, I wish that. Rather than, if I just improve myself and if I'm just grateful for the people around me, then I don't need to wish to be like these other people, because I have everything I need. I have an amazing family around me and supportive people, and there might be negative people around me, but we're all humans at the end of the day. So sometimes we do go through negativity, and it's just about lifting that person back up. And then they're going to be inspired, and then they're going to do the same thing to their circle. And then everyone, not everyone, but most people will start to become more like grateful for the things that like happen negative to them in their lives. So that was just literally one way, just being grateful for what I do have. And yeah, I just, ever since then I've never looked back, and I love every feature about myself. I love all my scars on my body, and I'm grateful for being able to see out of both of my eyes. The next thing that I was insecure about was the gap in my teeth. So I used to have like a really big gap, and you could put like a 2 pound you could probably put like put a ruler in it. Like you could probably put a pen. Okay, no, that's taking the piss. But I do know someone that used to have a gap. So I know someone that used to have a gap that you could literally put a pencil in there. No names are being stated, but I used to have a gap, and like you could literally probably put like a 10p or like a £1 coin inside my gap back in the day. And like it used to be so prominent, but everyone used to, like, all my African like relatives would say, "Oh, Paul, you're so beautiful. You have such a nice gap. If you was back home, Paul, you would get all the ladies, bro." And I would just be thinking in my head, brother, I look in the mirror and I don't think I'm looking that appealing, like, to myself. So how are you telling me that me having this gap in my teeth is making me look presentable to the women them on the marketplace? It just doesn't. 1 plus 1. It's not 1 plus 1 in. It's not equaling the two. It's equaling the four. So obviously that was encouraging, like it's a nice feeling to be called like a handsome person, and for people to like big you up and stuff like that for things that like you usually think negative of. But then on the other hand, like I was getting bullied for like having like a gap in my teeth. People would say, "Oh, like your gappers," like I've heard it all, like literally gap, everything, mind the gap, like everything you could think of. Like I've probably been, and I still do have a gap, but like I've accepted this now in life, because it doesn't really, like, who cares? Like you might see me with a gap now, maybe in 10 years I have like perfect pearly white teeth and there's no gap, and I've probably got your wife sitting on my lap. No, I'm joking. No, I was defo joking about that, by the way. Yeah, I single woman only, and like when I do get married, I don't want my wife watching this video. You know what? Let's just move on from this topic. So so yeah, the gap I used to have was definitely something that I used to have as an insecurity, and what did I do? I I I let it anguish me at first, and that didn't work. And I went and invested in braces. I went and invested in retainers, aligners, and now my teeth are like a lot straighter than they were before, and probably could still do more work. Like it's an ever-going journey. I had a big gap, so of course, like getting them to stay straight and like having like a perfect bite, all these things are so important to me because of like health and stuff like that. Like having the correct bite and just having nice teeth, it makes you feel good. And when you're speaking to people, you're more easily understood when you communicate. So I just a lot of reasons why I wanted and still want to improve like my teeth and my mouth hygiene and health and quality. And maybe in the future I might whiten my teeth, and you never know, like. But yeah, so I used to have an insecurity about that, and then I realized I could just improve my teeth. I could just improve my diet, and my teeth could get better. Like mewing could literally straighten my teeth and improve my like jaw structure. So like everything, once I started realizing that like I can have everything, when I started developing an abundance mindset, like I cared less about insecurities. It just meant that the result of what I am now is because I haven't put in the work in the past. So obviously there's some things you can't change. You can't change your height unless you go get surgery, and like that's so stupid. Like be happy with what God gave you. You can't like change your hair and stuff like that. You can, but once again, like surgery, and surgery has changed a lot in the past years and stuff like that. Like you can't really change your bone density. There's a lot of things. You can't change your eye shape, your lips, how big your lips are. Like go, let's forget surgery, but you can't change these things like naturally. So it's just like, why care about them? Why let them hinder you? Just focus on making those small lips that you have and that you might not like, making them as appealing as possible, taking care of them, because that's what you have, and you need to back yourself, because no one else is gonna love you more than you. Another thing that I used to have as an insecurity was obviously my weight, but of course that was just a short season of my life. And I was so happy I went through that experience, because I was able to understand how a person that was like big, like fat, how they would think. And it's a terrible place to be in. And I'm not knocking anyone that's fat. Like, I'm just being honest. It's not easy being fat. Like, whilst you're fat, it's not easy being fat, because then losing weight is a whole different journey. And like, when you're fat, you're more like likely to, or you're more like lazy and, you know, just lethargic, eating a lot. It's not a nice cycle. And I'm grateful that I was big at some point and now I'm slim again. So I'm grateful for that experience. And that one was definitely hard to accept as an insecurity, because there's no way I'm letting that define me. No way. Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way I'm letting that define me. Never. Yeah. So that's pretty much the main things I would say, like in order. So it was my scar, my gap, and my weight. Those were like really things that were like really, I would say, affecting me, like in my childhood. And then as I grew up, I just, you know, who cares what you think? Look at you, bro. You're short. Look at your head, fam. Look at your, you get it? Like, if I'm to pinpoint, I can pinpoint things as well. Like, no one's perfect. It's just about encouraging others and, you know, being grateful for what you have, and then just improving yourself so you can be happy with what you have through your hard work. So glory be to God. Thank you guys for watching this video. All I can say is like the video so you can so it can be promoted more to other people on YouTube. Also subscribe, so also, you know, more people can see, oh, yo, this guy has a lot of subscribers, let me see what he's doing well. And then they'll be like, oh, his content's actually useful, let me subscribe as well. So if you subscribe, they'll subscribe. And also make sure to comment down below, because I know you have something on your mind. I know you, and I know you have something on your mind. So comment down below. It's been your boy PaulKhadar. I love you guys all. Take care. Peace.